All right. Are you ready for some JadiimJedi versus Rkkixlol? Both of them 2-0 in
Could
this
be
round
ready.
3 match.
I could be ready for some JJ. So, JJ is I think he's the leader of the Dragonborn Guild that you hear so very, very often, or one of them at the very least. He is part of the Two Turns Ahead podcast, a very good podcast about Hex. If you want to know everything there is to know in the world about Hex, then you should definitely be listening to Two Turns Ahead. He plays a lot of board games, I'm sure a lot of us do. And embarrassingly, little knowledge of the Star Wars universe. That is embarrassing. Wow, I didn't know that. And it doesn't say it here, but he does always come second.
Always.
With 2 top 8 Hex Clash finishes and 1 Cosmic Crown Showdown top 8 as well. He's had some good finishes under his belt. He was also second at the HEX Invitational in 2016. Took a big chunk of money home though.
Yeah, that's not a bad second place to have.
Definitely not. And yeah, see what's going on for JJ today.
His opponent, Rkkixlol, he is a streamer, and he's been streaming lately quite a bit. Some constructed. In terms of tournaments, he actually finished 18th in the last Cosmic Crown Showdown. So not too many placements to his name, but getting up there is no small feat. Anyway, game's loaded up. Starting hands are visible. What do we have?
We got some Focus, Consult the Talent, and Transmography down here for JJ playing for Rico Combo. And up the top playing for Rico Combo, we have the Apostate, the Seer, the Arcane Focus, and the Warp Steel Shard Swan. Both decent hands, but Rkkixlol has the more aggressive and actual playable hand. Like basically any hand with a focus is a hand that I like, so I'm saying that the bottom hand is good when necessarily it's not like actually good. I believe in that Arcane Focus.
Rkkix has troops.
He does.
JJ is about to get troops. Maybe.
There's one. That's a good one.
Because you need troops for those Consult the Talents to be very good. Otherwise, they're kind of expensive. Just a tad. But if they combine their powers, Rkkix has 3 troops. JJ's got the Consult the Talents, plays Tribunal Magistrate. Whenever Rkkix plays a non-resource card, Spiderling eggs into the deck, which potentially become 1/1 unblockable spiders, of which you'll see a bunch in the Kismet's draft format.
You will, yeah, you definitely will. Apostate coming down, stealing a charge away from JJ here, and putting it onto Rkkixlol's champion. So, Magistrate's there, but there isn't much else going on right now. We see a 3rd Consult the Talon come off the top there for JJ, and that's not great. Consult the Talon's a great card, but not if you have no troops and only Consult the Talents.
And stealing that charge is huge when you have a 7-cost charge power. Means you can potentially have that out much sooner. Pipit Hustler from Rkkix will turn Tribunal Magistrate into Spellsong Sweeties.
JJ does not want to lose that troop with these Consult the Talons in his hand, ready to go. Because he's going to have to use Consult the Talon here for 5 cost. Doesn't want to, but it's the only way. And man, it's not looking good for JJ. He is not hitting those troops he needs. That keep with no plays was kind of rough. The Spider is good. The Magistrate putting in some work there. The Spider means that Consult the Talon's going to be a little bit cheaper on future plays. But we see, what's that? 2 Consult the Talons. Oh, is that Mandate in the opposing hand?
That is Silver Talon Mandate in the opposing hand. 2 copies, in fact.
Art is very similar. The owls are just in a slightly different place. And that's going to be a big play next turn if that 7th charge is hit.
Silver Talon Mandate is a 4-cost constant, creates 3 Birdocrats, 1/1 flights. When it enters play, when a troop readies, it gets counters. If it reaches 6 counters, the constant actually just goes back to your hand, so you can replay it and get more birds.
Congratulations.
Commander prompt from JJ, another Silver Talon Mandate for more birds and Bird Pump. Here we go. Furico makes all the birds 3/3, makes all the troops +2/+2.
A little bit of damage there.
Just a bit. This is actually lethal. JJ will take at least 12 damage from all of these attacks, but Runebind keeps that open, turns one of those into Runebind. Will only go down to 3. But even something like Dread End is not an answer here. Skittering Cultivator certainly isn't. So Rkkix is up 1 game in this match. A bit mirror-ish, but completely different ways their hand developed. So JJ is going to have to win game number 2 to even out this match. He'll be on the play. And we'll see if his second hand can hold up.
Okay, JJ's hand looking decidedly better this time around. We actually see a mulligan up top there. That first hand didn't look too bad. So I'm not sure why he chucked it. I didn't get a good look at the entire hand, but it definitely had some things in it. This one looks less good, but it does have Confounding Fire, which potentially deals with, honestly, not that much. Most of the big power plays in this deck are going to be Sapphire. I guess it does stop a few things, namely the Arcane Soil. It does stop the Runir Hierophant here too. But we've got Seer, Sharpshooter, Runir Hierophant, Commander Prompt, Consult the Talon, and a couple of resources down bottom for JJ. No Wild, and that might be important. We see Warp Steel, Pipit Hustler, Confounding Ire, and 3 resources up the top there for Rkkixlol. So, good hands on both sides. I would say that if JJ does hit the Wild, his hand initially looks better, but it could just do nothing if he doesn't hit that Wild.
And with no Arcane Focus or other way to shape that hand, although Thunderfield Seer, most of the actions in the deck are Sapphire, so that will represent another card. JJ doesn't pick up a Wild, but has an Acolyte of Shoku. A way to create Dreadlings, a way to get another resource, but needs a Wild Threshold to get that out.
Yep, missing the Wild is rough for JJ, and now he's looking at a Confounding Ire and a Runebind, so once he does get that Wild, something's going to be interrupted. And the Hustler's there waiting in the wings. Oh god, it's another Sapphire. Picking up the resources, but not picking up the right color.
At the very least, that makes Commander Prompt playable, so he'll throw that down. Pipit Hustler is probably going to target Commander Prompt, transforming it into a Scrap Rummager. 1/2 can be activated to draw and discard a card, I think.
Still no Wild.
Draws 3 cards. Doesn't pick up a resource even. Holding the 7 cards in hand, though.
I think it's too late. There is still not a Wild coming off this deck for JJ. Poor JJ.
But dodging that Confounding Ire like a pro by only playing Sapphire cards Not by choice, though. Screws. The Scrap Bombager draws a card, discards that Acolyte of Shoku. Consult the Talon. Turn is responded to by Pipit Hustler, transforming Tribunal Magistrate into Sly Lookout, 1/1 Spell Shield. There's a Wild Threshold. Webborn Apostate steals a charge, and that, plus that resource, Rkkix is at 7, team buffed, and that is going to be a 16 damage attack. That puts JJ at 1. That's
Here's
not
the
a great
comeback for
place to be,
JJ.
though.
Nope, that's a commander prompt. Does get the wild, but he doesn't have the charge power online. I mean, he can block some stuff, but not enough, I fear. With the Runebind in hand and 4 blockers against 5 attackers, this is likely the end.
This is definitely the end. More than 1 health would have helped, but in this game, Wild evading him, so JJ on the worst side of variance in this one, but still is 2-1 after this match. Rkkix 3-0. JJ can still win out, maybe get second at the end of the Swiss rounds to make it into the top 8, so that he can second place there. But this is going to be Rkkix taking this match 2-0.